Welcome, Rose. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. You dolled up. You
I
you look amazing. You feel amazing. You're always in such a
mm,
great mood.
I'm trying to
Well, at
stay in a
least
good
around
mood.
us, you are.
Around you guys. No, we had a town hall at work today, so I had to dress for the part.
Great. You look great. So, Rose Jones, the Director of Human Resources at the Culture Award winner, literally year after year, you guys win Culture Awards, which is amazing, at the law firm Meyers, Roman, Friedberg, and Lewis. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
I Give a Shit About My Employees podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. And I'm so excited about this because Rose has such an amazing personality, and we're gonna.
Wow, no
And
pressure. No pressure.
you think you don't give off value, but you do. She's got 30 years of experience in HR, legal admin, and office management. Rose has seen it all from navigating workplace policies to fostering a thriving company culture. She's passionate about employee engagement, leadership development, and creating workplaces where people actually want to show up. That's awesome.
Wow. Well, when you say it, it sounds really impressive.
So I just know you have so much insights, and let's go in.
All right. All right.
So tell us, just some high level. Tell us some about yourself and some career highlights. We'll start it with that.
I've been doing this a long, long time. In some way, shape, or form, always in a law firm environment,
Uh-huh.
always, always bringing something with me from the last encounter to the next one.
Right.
Sort of stockpiling. I call it pollinating.
Yep.
Bringing those ideas, what worked, what didn't, into the next adventure, if you will.
Yep.
And I'm really blessed because I really landed in a great spot. Myers Roman really is the perfect spot for me. It's filled with some great experts, and I'm afforded a seat at the table, if you will, in terms of being able to have an immediate and direct impact on culture a lot of um, without a lot of things or people getting in the way of it. So it's a
Sure.
really great opportunity.
Sure. Because there's I can imagine in a law firm, and you're an expert, and in HR, so you're probably in the middle of a lot of like
Very
how do
smart people.
very smart people.
Very
That's a good
smart
way to
people.
put
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But egos,
yeah. Oh yeah.
very,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, you have the attorneys, and they're super confident,
Yeah.
and very pro work, and work their butts off and whatever else, and then you have the support staff and whatever else. So how do you juggle those personalities and
I don't do that. I don't juggle them. Some days I feel like I'm juggling them well.
yeah,
Meeting I feel sometimes, from day to day, it's random. Oh,
yeah,
I did a decent job of balancing it all. Other days I feel like, I'm just the bull in the china shop. I'm just knocking into everyone and getting on everyone's last nerve. And
how does Rose get on people's nerves? I
oh,
can't.
pretty. It's actually a gifting of mine. So, yeah, all the time. You're right. Butting up against those things. Butting up against, again, some very, very smart people. Our attorneys and our non-attorney staff are all amazing, gifted professionals. And
So far, who we've met, it's just amazing.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's an amazing group at Myers. I mean, it really is.
yeah.
But everybody, everybody brings their experiences with them, and a lot of people who've been doing this maybe as long as I have, or sometimes even longer, bring with them a mindset that if you're not working as many hours as I am, or if you're not, meeting these, billable numbers or whatever the metric is, then you're not doing your job.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to come up against something like that and say, look, we've got to. We have people being effective. They're just might not be. It might not look like you, and
Right.
so that's not always so well received.
I'm sure, and sometimes I'm sure it is, and
Yeah, that's true.
and
That is true. Every
and,
once in a
and
while,
people are empathetic and understand
They do.
other people's shoes?
They
Most,
do. Well, okay.
kind of sometimes.
Sort of.
So you were one of my favorite reactions of showing the flyer to this podcast and what we're trying to do, because you're like,
I'm a tiny bit.
you're just like,
You know,
I love it, I love it, I'm in. When are we doing this? Sometimes we get the opposite reaction, like,
I know,
ooh, and
Well,
and
this might be a time to remind you that you actually promised me a headband similar similar to the ad, and well, I got to tell you,
yeah.
I'm not really seeing any.
No
headband
headbands, no
action,
headbands yet, Jeremy.
Right.
We got to order some
Yeah,
headbands.
I mean, I need some swag.
So what gave off that positive feeling or reaction? It was very natural. It was very quick. It was very excited to do a podcast where you get to talk about how you have shown employees that you give a shit about them over the years.
Well,
And something struck a chord,
It
a really
did.
positive one.
it did. It did. A couple of things. One, just being able to say I give a shit. Is, I heart that. But literally to remind people that it is that it's okay. It's okay to lean into giving a shit about your employees, right? And making sure to remind others that it's okay, right?
Right.
We're in this together, and if I'm invested in your success and you're invested in my success, neither one of us goes wrong, right? We both win. And so
Yes.
to have an opportunity to talk about what that looks like or feels like, at least in my version of, the Garden of Eden kind of thing, that is very exciting.
Sure. So over the years, I'm sure you've, laid it in bed at night thinking like, how do I show them more that I care and not just
Yeah.
going through the motions, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
so what are some of the?
Not an easy thing to do. I'm still in a position that sometimes has to that puts me necessarily in a place where I sometimes have to say some really tough things to people, right? There are times when I have to be the person that shares the information you don't want to hear, shares the
Right.
feedback you don't want. And so it's a balance, right? It's a constant balance of trying to remind people how much I care about their well-being, whether that's in work or out of work, and maintaining enough of a distance that makes it possible for me to still walk out the rest of my job. It's not easy. It is not.
But having an open door and candid conversations is actually a good thing. Whether it's
It is-
whether
it
you're saying
is.
something good or
It is
not.
true. It is true. And sometimes my honesty, I lean on it. I don't want to say a little too much, but sometimes it feels like that because that is over the past, what did you say, 30 years? Wow, that's a long time.
Not dating you. I'm not dating
Yeah,
you.
you are. It's too late. It's too late. Over that length of time, there's a lot of trial and error, right, for all of us as adults and as working professionals, and that's one of that's a precept or a core tenet that I landed on rather early on. That was going to be my best tool for dealing with people, because I don't. Frankly, I'm a little too lazy to lie because I can't remember what I said. I'm not, I'm just. But this is what people pick up on disingenuousness. I know I do, and so I think, and that's certainly not how I don't want people to interact with me. So if
Right.
I'm genuine and I'm truthful and I'm as honest as I can be without trying to be hurtful or any of those other things or rude or mean, but if I'm honest, then I think that you're going to respond in kind.
Don't you feel the honesty sometimes, even if it's something negative that you have to point out or whatever else, is what's best for them, and that you're doing them a
yeah.
favor?
Well, I don't like to say like I'm doing people a favor. Like that seems like hubris. But it does feel like the right thing to do, and more often than not, people respond in a way that is, it just sort of cuts through the BS, frankly.
Sure.
So while people might want to throw like smoke and mirrors at a situation, and well, it's somebody else's fault, or it's this or it's that, when you're approaching people or situations with that kind of honesty, or at least the kind of honesty that I aim for, they generally respond in kind, and they're like, you know what, you're right. I screwed that up. It's
Tho-
helpful,
those are the
right?
best.
It
Those
is.
are those are
It
the
is
best.
because then we could just get on to let's fix it.
Well, that means that the person took full accountability,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
they probably had an underlying feeling of the same thing.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
And that sometimes somebody just needs that outside wake up call on the negative side. But so we're talking negative. Let's talk positive,
Mm-hmm.
right? So again, professionals, when you deal in a law firm, no one necessarily needs pats on the back, but they always feel great.
Right.
So how do you have those type of
You know what? That's always like that's another thing that that people I think believe is that professionals operating at the level that these professionals work at, like again at Meyers Roman, they're all right non-attorneys and attorneys alike. They're working at extremely high levels. These are people who are skilled craftsmen, if you will, right?
Sure.
Doing amazing work.
yes,
And they, many of them know it, not in an egoistic kind of way, but they're aware of their own their own value,
Sure.
which is wonderful. But everybody likes to be reminded that somebody else values it, that somebody else sees
Sure.
the hard work, that somebody else appreciates it. It's huge. It's absolutely huge for people at every single level. So we find several years ago, we instituted a program, not even really a program. It started as an email. It started as an every Friday email, and we just called it the Friday High Five. And
Nice.
it was a little bit of a new concept for the firm. They'd never really done anything like that. And so I just wanted to take a few moments at the end of the week, maybe share a silly story or a random
Or some recognition.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then with it is 5 people that I saw so and so loading the dishwasher without being asked, and high five to them, and
Nice.
those kinds of things. And it was really, really well received. There was far more appreciation for it than I originally thought there would be. So
Of course,
that
because
was
who wouldn't look forward to that email
Yeah,
on a Friday to see who's
absolutely,
being
absolutely,
recognized this
right,
week
yeah.
and whatever else. So that's
Yeah.
definitely culture
Mhm.
building. That's a great idea. So how do you define a good company culture?
Wow. I don't know that there's one way to define it. I think it's a fluid thing, right? And I think in different moments and different times it can look differently. I think one where people feel empowered to do their jobs, to be treated with respect and given autonomy, and are allowed to be honest and frankly are allowed to screw up. I think that's what good culture looks like. People are allowed to make mistakes and to watch other people make mistakes and give them grace and step in and help. And when you see those things happening, at least for me, that's when I think, okay, this is great culture.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So any other like success stories on building?
We've got quite a few. I've got a great team at Meyers Roman, and so they're always, there's always people ready with a great idea or a way to incorporate something cool and fun. We started the last Tuesday of every month. We started called a Tuesday Tune-Up, and you guys you've taken up the last couple of tune-ups for us, but it's a
We
way for
appreciate it.
us to, no, we're happy to have you, but it's a way for us to invest in wellness for employees, and it's hosted at lunchtime, and you bring your lunch, and you can participate or not. It's optional, and it covers everything. It's sometimes physical wellness or financial wellness, and sometimes we just have fun because that is a part of wellness as well. So
Sure.
sometimes we play bingo and we do a lot. We
That's
did,
cool.
you know what?
Well, it was well attended. I mean, you
Yeah,
get great
yeah,
engagement,
we
which
did.
is great.
We did. Yeah, you guys really drew a crowd.
Thank
Well,
you.
in all
Thank you.
honesty, you guys, promised some weight loss tips, and so that really put some butts in the seats.
Yes, yes. Well, we're like you. We have candid conversations. We meet, employees where they're at and try to just help them move a step or two forward.
Yeah.
And your team is very. It's cool. It's cool to see that they're so engaged with it and
Yeah.
ready to go.
They
and
are
like
they are so excited, but that's the reason that when you and I initially spoke, that it was like, okay, well, I got to hear more about it. I got to know more about it because this is exactly the thing that I've been looking for to be able to provide to our people. We tried a couple of different things that maybe didn't hit quite as well as I thought, or didn't resonate as well, and didn't
Right.
impact as many people. And so this is really
So
exciting.
we'll see. We're just at the
Yeah, we're at the
beginning,
very
but
beginning,
but
yeah.
we're excited, and we're excited. I'll leave it at that. But so new hires, you hire a new person. What do you tell them about the organization and what to expect and
Again, honesty. That's the key there. We just brought on a new paralegal and a couple of new attorneys, and we share the same things generally across the board. This, an honest expression of, what we're doing here, what we're trying to provide here. Like, look, you can spin around in a circle and hit 10 attorneys, right?
Right.
But you're not going to find, in my mind and in my opinion, quite as amazing a collection of, again, professionals as you are at Meyers Roman. And we do lean into that. And I, in particular, lean into that when I'm bringing people on board or I'm sharing with them why they should be considering joining our firm. You're going to get that, you're going to get in kind exactly what you're giving, right? People are just standing ready to pour into you just like they want you to pour into them. So it's a
Exactly.
great environment.
It's a great environment, especially when people want to be around intelligence, success,
Yes,
et cetera,
absolutely. They want to
and-
be a part of that.
and,
Yeah.
and positivity and so on. How do you show you care beyond KPIs? So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to go into maybe some of the or even job titles, like what are some of the things that
That's a fluid thing, and that's a sort of a seasonal thing. In a lot of ways, it ebbs and flows. We try to let individual employees have some buy-in and some purchase in terms of what it looks like to feel rewarded, to feel, we do a lot of listening, or at least I think we do a lot of listening. I mean, maybe
listening is key. Listening is a big part.
Right. But hearing what they want, seeing where they're at, and sort of listening for the things that they're not saying, which is not easy. But it can range, right? It can range. Some people, sometimes it's bonuses, or sometimes it's, taking the day off to watch the, whatever eclipse, and whatever it is. It's a host of things.
So listening. Looking back on your career, a time when you listened and did something. Is there a story behind an employee that felt listened to, and what happened?
I think there's probably several stories of that, and on my end too, being the recipient of people and management, again, willing to listen.
Nice.
I think there's plenty of those things. There's like lots of little ones. It would be a real struggle to pull out one or two.
Got it.
So thanks for putting me on the spot with that one.
Sorry.
Appreciate it. No, it's okay. It's not okay. Yeah, there's lots of those things. I think that we in real time are listening for the things that even people aren't saying, and trying to be responsive in the moment. I think we're doing a really good job of that.
Anything when you look at compensation and perks and benefits and potentially events and whatever. So what sticks out that you feel you and or Meyers Roman does above and beyond what maybe some others do?
In terms of like programming, if you will, I think it's that. I think I mean I really do. I can't say it enough. I think our willingness to listen and to be honest and to be as transparent as we possibly can, and to involve everyone in our success story that's what sets us apart. And we're trying to incorporate that. This is, by the way, is our 30th year.
It's amazing.
It is. That's our 30th year anniversary. And so we have some big things planned for this year, and trying to fold people into that, making them feel a part and reminding them that they're a part of our success.
And how many years did you guys win the North Coast 99?
We have been sponsors of North Coast 99. Oh, again, with the facts and figures, man. I'm going to say at least 8 years.
Right.
But I think it's closer to 10.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Very excited, proud sponsors of North Coast 99. Yes.
That's great. That's great. And you win award year after year, which is amazing. Any untraditional or bold things that you've done?
We brought in this crazy vendor partner called Zero Down. And they've been taking over our wellness program, and I think that's a pretty bold move for us.
It is?
It is.
Why?
I think so. Because this is of all the things that we've tried to do for employees in this wellness, if you will, space. This is by far the biggest thing, and it's one of the things I am most excited about in terms of being able to, again, meet each and every individual employee where they're at. You guys have met us at such a great place in terms of getting this price right and getting people engaged and involved, and the amount of time you've spent trying to, get everybody all together, getting it all put together, has just been so amazing. But this is the thing we've been waiting for. This is the thing I've been waiting for. Giving them a way to, whether they want to lose weight, whether they want to, maybe they just want to feel a part of the collective, maybe they want to be engaged with an accountability partner, maybe they just want that pat on the back, right? That attaboy, and maybe maybe they don't want to get that from me. Maybe it makes, maybe it has a tiny bit more meaning when it's somebody who doesn't. I got to tell you, one of our employees. Now we're looking for our first challenge. It's starting soon. In a couple days. One of our employees, like in anticipation of this, has been like hitting the treadmill, and she's just been. She's in it.
The rock star.
She stopped me in the hallway yesterday, and she was glowing. She said, "I did this ridiculous 40-minute thing on the treadmill or whatever it was she did," and she was beaming. She was so proud of herself for what she had done, that it was part of a goal that you guys had helped her set. And so she goes, "I know I'm starting it early, but I just can't wait." So she started it, but she said by the time she got to the couch to sort of decompress after having, killed this 40-minute workout, she said she was getting a text message, and I think it was from Jeremy. And she was like, "We saw what you did. Way to go. How awesome." And she literally glowed the entire day.
It's amazing.
She glowed the entire day. It was awesome. But that's
okay.
Exactly
So
what I
think we're done. We've got our commercial too. Like we just need to cut the video right there. I was trying not to make this in any way salesy.
No, but
you're doing it for
salesy.
us.
I really am excited. Really excited about what this looks like for our employees. And again, the options, you can join, you can join later, you can stop, you can start. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
It is.
It's going to be amazing. and that's the whole point and view, is that those employees that have been itching and have tried to do things on their own, now you've brought in that extra support and help and coaching and whatever else, to now they feel they can do it now, and let's go, and those rock stars are going to come out.
It is.
And then that's the ripple effect.
It's wonderful. And I got to tell you, it feels good to me in my role that I don't have to be the one pushing, right? I finally have a partner.
Because you have payroll issues.
I have. Don't trigger me. I have payroll. I've got a lot of issues. Got everything blowing up at any given moment. This is what I'm looking for: somebody to come alongside me and to care, or as you say, to give a shit about Meyers Roman's employees as much as I give a shit about them.
Right.
And this is what I'm finding here, and so this is what has me excited. Because now, while I might have eventually made my way around to taking a look at what she was able to accomplish, there's no way in real time that what I would have been able to, whatever I have been able to give her would have elicited that same kind of glow.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's awesome.
Great. Great. Other than Zero Doubt Club. What else? When you think of culture and events and like stuff that North Coast 99, for example, recognizes you guys for.
There's a lot of little things that we do as a group that sort of amount to a whole lot. You know, March at our firm has for I don't know, probably Scott Lewis, one of our named partners, began this process years and years ago, and we keep building on it every year. But the month of March we devote to Harvest for Hunger.
Nice.
Hosting all different kinds of little events and fundraising opportunities and food collections, and we have like a really great team around that. And every year they just sort of knock it out of the park in terms of
That's awesome.
of ways to get people engaged, which is, as we all know, not very easy.
No.
Little things like that, you know, partnering with Habitat for Humanity. Our managing partner is on their board, and we absolutely love their mission. It resonates exactly
Sure.
with some of the things that Meyers Roman feels so strongly about, and we are always excited to partner with them.
Yeah, just giving back and helping others and doing it together is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So all those different things all throughout the year, lots of little ways trying to lean into being a solid community partner.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's great. So how do you, at the end of the year, for example, how do you measure success other than being recognized by North Coast 99? Maybe internally, like how do you guys discuss it, and you know, what can you teach someone who's listening?
Wow, that's a good question. Individually or collectively as a firm, we're looking at, collectively we're looking at the same things. Like, we're still a business, right?
Yes.
We're looking at many of the same things that any other business is looking at. We're looking, of course, at dollars and cents.
Sure.
We're looking at, hours and clients, and we're digging into other data like, referrals. Referrals are a big deal for law firms, and they're a really big deal for us.
Yes.
And we are really trying to put some focused attention on the people that trust us by referring work to us.
Yes.
And acknowledging that, and trying to recognize that really means a lot to us. I mean, and how that builds on our success. Again, 30 years.
Sales is a lot easier when you're referred.
Oh my gosh, right? So true.
Yeah.
But for when people continue to trust us, with referral after referral or situation after situation, that's a big deal. That's a large part of how we're identifying that we're doing something right.
Sure.
When people continue to refer us business. When employees refer us business, and friends and neighbors, and it's all the same thing.
Or other employees.
Other employees, correct, right. And when those things happen, like that's the sweet spot, right?
Sure,
that's the beautiful organism we're all aiming for.
Yes, for sure, for sure. So, I guess, strategies on ensuring that the team feels good and is aligned with the company's mission and vision and core values, like.
It's very interesting. I started by telling you that this morning we had our first town hall. We have every couple of months, we try to, at least once a quarter, have a town hall where the entire firm gets together.
That's awesome.
And it's a nice way to get sort of a 30,000 foot view of maybe, and this is our first one of the year, so it's how we ended last year, what worked, what didn't. Again, really high level, and just sort of leaning into some of the things that are coming into the next year, right?
Yes.
Our managing partner, Brian Dardis, he did a great job this morning,
yes.
Leading us through that, and really pointed out a lot of really great successes and how everyone was part of that. We had forecasted some shaky spots, and it got turned around, and so we ended really, really well. And then he also announced that we're launching into a new process for recentering around core values. So taking a new look at those, a fresh look at those, a re-energized
That's awesome.
look at those things, and maybe even folding in some strategic planning and those kinds of things, just to get us all reinvigorated again.
Yeah, you should. You should
Yeah.
reassess core values
Absolutely.
and mission and vision, because that evolves over time and
It sure
over the
does.
people.
Things change, right? We change. The
Things
company
change.
changes.
Things
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Soon, health and wellness will be a big.
So that'll be in our strategic plan.
So this is great. Anything else that you, any piece of advice that you have for other leaders on creating culture?
That's tough.
And again, I get it that culture creates itself.
It
So
does,
maybe
it does.
maybe talk about that. How culture has.
I can tell you this, that we struggled with this a little bit. We have, and it's not just at this. And I've had this encounter in other firms as well, and I've seen it happen and unfold in other companies. Don't automatically assume that human resource personnel are singularly responsible for a company's culture. Okay?
Right.
That's not true, and
It's
frankly,
not
it's
true.
not fair, right?
Right.
It's not fair. And again, I know that our company, again, we've had some pain points with that, and we recenter back around. Look, this is a group effort, right? This is a collective effort.
Yes.
No matter what your position is here, that reinvestment, that refocus, that drive to be better. Again, what I had said early on, which is, if each of us are invested in the other person's success, they're equally invested in yours. Who goes wrong? No one does.
And retention is super strong.
Absolutely.
And,
And that's what we're all after, right? That's what we're all after. Everyone's success, whatever that looks like, personally, professionally. What can we do?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Staying in touch with that. That's the key.
Sounds good.
Not easy.
Sounds good. So I think this is our first episode. We're going to have another one. We're going to check in with you.
Oh my gosh. I have to come up with something exciting to say.
No,
All
this
right.
is awesome. You're awesome.
Thank you. I think
We
the same
really
way about
enjoy
you
working
guys.
with you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I think
you
you're
very much.
fun and exciting, and you're like the dream. The dream.
Wow.
No, you just are. You
Do I
exude
have
personality.
to pay somebody for this?
Seriously, we just paid each other.
Is that
you,
it?
You
Is that
gave
it?
our
Yeah.
commercial. But again, thank you, Roseanne.
Thank you. Thanks for
and
having
look
me.
forward to many years working together.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Take care.